Good morning, folks. This is Deb Delapiana, and this is once again the third in a series of Shut the Fuck Up. You know, I could do these maybe 3 or 4 times a week if I spent my time agonizing over the things the GOP says. But later today, we have to do our stream and get on other topics. And next week, starting on Monday, we need to get back on the election train, because there are some special elections coming up, as you will see later tonight. But for today, I want to talk about Donald Trump and the Republican Party once again. I am not appealing to MAGA people. I've given up on them. They're not worth the time and the effort. They're in a hopeless cult. But I'm hoping to appeal to people in the Democratic Party who might be thinking of sitting out another election, like they do so many times. And this is at a consequential time in our history when we can't afford that. And I'm also talking to GOP voters who may be riding the fence. Okay? There is no upside to Donald Trump in this particular Republican Party. So let's talk about why I'm here right now. Donald Trump had a rally in Iowa, and the day before that rally, there was a mass shooting there. A 17-year-old killed a 6th grader and wounded 5 other people. Donald Trump's response was, as you may have expected, I guess. He basically told people that they needed to move on, was the upshot of it. This is essentially what he said. Quote, "The pain that you have is very unique to your state," which actually the pain for that moment was, but it's not very unique to the state of Iowa. There have been mass shootings in schools all across the nation, with the exception of several states where they have actual real gun laws, like Massachusetts, where I live. Then he goes on to say, "We're really with you as much as anybody can be. It's a terrible thing that happened, and it's just horrible to see that happening. It's just horrible. So surprising to see it here." No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It is not surprising to see it here. But then here is where he made his grand and glorious switch to, "It's all about me." But have to get over it. We have to move forward. We have to move forward. But to the relatives and to all the people that are so devastated right now, to a point they can't breathe, they can't live, we are with you all the way. We're with you and we love you and cherish you. No, he doesn't. He doesn't love you and cherish you. He doesn't give a fat rat's ass that your children are being killed in school, because if he actually cared about that, he would be telling his Republican counterparts that it's time for common sense gun legislation. Things like background checks, maybe treating guns like we treat cars, having them registered so they can be traced if they're used in a fucking crime. Okay? That kind of stuff. Expanded background checks, real background checks, okay? Not being able to buy assault weapons. No one needs semi-automatic and automatic weapons. And no, the Second Amendment doesn't say you can have those guns. In fact, the Second Amendment doesn't say you can have any guns, because that's not what it was all about. But let's not go there. Number 2. This is number 2 and shut the fuck up. So anyone who's telling me that Donald Trump actually cares about these people can shut the fuck up, because that is patently false. So here's number 2. Number 2. Vivek Ramaswamy, who, of course, on the 6th, which was the 3rd anniversary of the insurrection, posted Happy Entrapment Day on his social media account. Entrapment Day. Yeah, we entrapped them to go to the Capitol, break into the building, and try to kill people. But funny that in 2021, this is what Vivek Ramaswamy said. Quote, "I saw the disgrace that unfolded at the footsteps of the Capitol on January 6th. I cried. I was in tears when I watched on television that day." You know what? He's full of shit. He was full of shit then. He's full of shit now, and he can shut the fuck up, because now Vivek Ramaswamy is a contender for the presidency, or he thinks he's a contender for the presidency, and he's trying to gain MAGA support. Because you know what? In order to win as a GOP member, you have to have MAGA support now, because they've literally handed their party over to a pack of lunatics. That's all I can tell you. So Vivek can shut the fuck up. He can almost shut the fuck up from the time he wakes up in the morning, because he's so useless. And here's number 3, Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, in a speech to a right-wing Christian event that was with right-wing Christian lawmakers, where they actually threw the press out. So I don't know if Mike Johnson realized that the person who was actually holding this event would be showing a video of this on their Facebook page. But if he was hoping that nobody would hear or see what he was saying during this event, he was wrong. I mean, he might have been excited that they threw the press out, but it still got out there in the public view. And this is what he said. The Lord impressed upon my heart a few weeks before this happened that something was going to occur. And the Lord very specifically told me in my prayers to prepare, but to wait. I had this sense that we were going to come to a Red Sea moment in our Republican conference and the country at large. Look, I'm a Southern Baptist. I don't want to get too spooky on you, okay? But the Lord speaks to your heart, and he had been speaking to me about this. And the Lord told me very clearly to prepare. Okay, prepare for what I don't know. We're coming to a Red Sea moment. What does that mean, Lord? Well, he apparently was in this 3-week process talking to the Lord, and that the Lord chose Mike Johnson as the new Moses. I shit you not, folks. He is now the new Moses. God came to him and told him to step forward and assume the mantle. You know, honest to God, pardon the pun, but if this guy is the new Moses, and then we have Donald Trump, who refers to himself as Jesus, I think we certainly have to assume that the good Lord had it in for us all from the very beginning. This is some kind of scary fucking shit, people. These aren't just, the nutters that we used to see in the early 90s who weren't going anywhere. All right, we now have a MAGA movement behind these people. And, we also have a bunch of clueless general Republicans who don't understand that they don't have a pot to piss in, and they're pissing their money away on these candidates who are MAGA candidates, and they think somehow that they're going to take care of them, when I can promise you that Donald Trump wouldn't look any of these people in the eye and invite them to Mar-a-Lago. He wouldn't give them food if they were starving on the streets, and he certainly is not considering them anything but a vote. And that's all he cares about, because this particular Republican Party is all about the power and the glory. And of course, being the new Moses and the new Jesus of the world. These people are batshit fucking lunatic crazy. And you know what? They believe their own shtick. And they are fascists and authoritarians at heart, because when you base everything on freaking fundamentalist Christian religion, that's where you're coming from to begin with. So let's get real here, folks. It is do or die come November. And if you're going to try to tell me that this is just going to right itself, I'm going to tell you to shut the fuck up too. I'll talk to you all later.